feeling tired all of the time, because if you are, it's not a healthy sign. Sometimes I think we're in this world where we're busy, 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 and if you start to feel tired, obviously you're going to justify it to yourself by saying, oh, you know, I'm working a lot, I'm doing this, blah, 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 that's why I'm tired. Okay, yes, a fraction of the tiredness could be from that, but it highlights this disproportion of energy transfer that you're sort of experiencing in your daily life. You're obviously losing more energy than you are gaining energy. So this is something to think about. Now this ties into the concept of something called armour in Ayurveda. I've spoken a bit about armour. It's basically toxins within the body. Now these toxins, the interesting thing is that they can be physical, but they can also be mental. So first I'll talk about physical armour. This is created in the gut when our digestive fire isn't working as appropriately as it should and the fire is not strong. So when we eat something, it cannot be properly digested. And what this does is what it cannot digest, it sort of, like, there remains this sort of gunk, and that's called armour. And it usually shows up on the tongue actually. That's why we look at the tongue in Ayurveda to sort of assess where the armour is in the body and how much of it there is. So you can always self-check that. Now this substance, when it stays in the gut, it starts to circulate the body, and what it does, it starts obstructing the channels where nutrients need to go and certain processes. So it just becomes a bit of a nuisance. Now what this does is number one, it stops, but first let's start with the gut. Number one, it stops you absorbing and digesting food properly. Okay, so you cannot be gaining all the nutrients that you are consuming if you have this level of armour in your body. Number two, it obstructs the channels, like I mentioned before. So this will stop things flowing as properly, including your thoughts. I'll get to that in a moment. And then thirdly, it can also make you feel very fatigued and tired because of this obstruction and this sort of heavy, dense substance that's in your body. It can make you feel a bit bleh and dense, basically. It's sticky, and sometimes you might feel like washing a lot when there's a lot of armour in the body. So the other side of this is that there's also mental armour. Now this is the armour that you cannot see. So the physical armour, yes, you can touch. Well, it's a physical thing, actually exists. But the mental armour exists, but in a subtle form. And it's basically suppressed emotions that can cause mental armour. It's things that you're not releasing and allowing to process and digest. And this mental armour can build up too, which again causes a lot of congestion in the body. And then we get these feelings of anxiety, confusion, lack of clarity, like things just feel really foggy and unclear. So this is why normally when you're feeling tired, you need to check what you're doing that's making you feel tired, firstly, but also there could be a high level of armour in the body. So especially if you feel fatigue and real exhaustion, like even upon waking up as well, you need to look out for that. And then thirdly, I just want to add that it also makes a difference in what you're doing. And like I said at the beginning, you've got to check that what you're doing is not draining your energy instead of building your energy. And I know that you might say, yes, I've got to do this for another reason, blah, 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 but the desires won't stop, okay? You need to make sure that you're joyfully living in the moment right now. It doesn't matter what you're doing. It might be something that you don't particularly enjoy, but when you stay in the moment, you're not creating this mental tension, and also you're not somewhere else. So normally when we're doing something that we don't want to do, automatically there's this like negative tone, like, I don't want to be doing this, why am I doing this, I shouldn't, I wish I was doing this, when I did that, you know, like it's going past and future and it's going everywhere. and it doesn't want to be where it is right now. And this uses so much of your energy. No wonder you feel exhausted. Okay, so the root of it really, obviously the armour is a big factor, but it also being tired all the time, it shows that you're not in the present moment, and you're not accepting the moment as it is and being joyful within that moment. So that's something to think about when you're feeling tired all of the time, and start noticing it where you go, certain environments, certain activities, what builds your energy and what depletes your energy. And then you start creating a life where you can start just building and building and building. Okay? And then when it comes to it, you can have energy to do anything all of the time. And it will appear like you've got super duper powers to get loads of work done, get loads of stuff done. This is the trick. You keep the armour low in the body, and you also make sure that you're very selective about what you understand builds your energy and what you understand depletes your energy. And then on top of that, you practice awareness with regular concentration practices, breathing practices, meditation, whatever you decide. And this helps you to stay in the moment. And in the moment, we accept where we are. And that acceptance is just completely liberating. And you're not using energy or gaining energy, you're just in the present moment. So you can remain in quite a neutral state. Yeah, so I hope that made sense. It's a really interesting topic, and I think it's something we can all relate to. So look out for when you're feeling tired and when you're not. And I hope this was helpful to you. If you would like a consultation and talk about the level of armour in your body, if you feel like it's causing you problems, you can get in touch. I'll leave my email address at the end of this video. So thank you very much for listening. Bye.
भजन वाली डोरी